Here's Brody Brazil.
I just want and need to clarify something that I do hear on a semi-regular basis. It's the comment that, well, Brody, you're a journalist. And that's usually followed by their opinion or what I did that I shouldn't have done or what I should do that I didn't do. But in all reality, let me make it very clear. Me right now, in the current role that I've been doing for the last dozen plus years, hosting pre- and post-game shows, that's not necessarily journalism. I'm saying that not to disrespect actual journalists, but quite the opposite. I'm here to say that what they do is at a way higher level of importance than what I do. I do not deserve to be called a journalist because that is not, first off, that's not the line of work that I'm in. And it's also something that's a lot more noble than what I'm doing. But to be clear, I understand a bit of the mistake and the assumption, right? Because here's somebody on television talking to me, sharing news, sharing ideas, sometimes sharing opinions, but that's not journalism. Journalism is somebody who's covering a political campaign, or who's covering crime, or who's covering a breaking news story, a natural disaster, or a war overseas, or wherever. Like, that is a journalist, somebody who's telling both sides, somebody who is playing it as fair and as straight as possible, somebody who is uncovering things on a constant basis, somebody who's really digging every day for a brand new story. Now, it's not to say that I don't do some of those similar things, but I don't do all those things all the time. What do I do? And what do most people in my position do? I'm here to inform, I'm here to educate, and honestly, I'm here to entertain in a pre- and a post-game situation. But like I said, I really do understand how some people can get it mixed up. They see anybody on television, and that's a problem for me. If you think I'm a journalist, do you think everybody on television or on radio or in front of a microphone here on YouTube, is everybody a journalist? Do you believe everybody the same way? Now let me go back to that for a second. Credibility. That's also a reason why I understand you might mistake me for a journalist. I'm also trying to gain your trust. I'm also trying to be a credible human being. What do I want to be as host of a pregame show? I want to be somebody that you turn on the television for, or you go to social media for, and you say, you know what, I know him. He's been around a while. I generally know how he plays things, and I trust what he's saying. I trust what he said last time, and I trust what he'll say next time. Whether it's an opinion, the way something is framed up, whether it's just covering the bigger picture of a topic or a theme or a story. I do want credibility. I aim really hard for that. Journalists do, but you know what? For a journalist, credibility is everything. And it's very important to me too. So I understand that parallel. But like I said, for somebody to come up to me and say, well, you're a journalist, act like one, or cover this, or do that, or don't do this, or don't do that. The reasoning is usually flawed because they're using that as kind of a crutch. I also wanted to say one of the other things I think blurs the line of journalism or not is social media. Because on all these platforms, you get to know the human beings, not just as their on-air persona, but who they actually are. And because of that, journalists are supposed to be straight down the middle, cover a story, give you both sides. You can kind of understand through social media how some people actually are, and they might be one-sided or not. My point is, here in 2021, it's harder than ever to determine whether somebody's a journalist or not. Now, in closing, could I someday be a journalist? Sure. Could I take another job and understand how a person in that position is supposed to act and perform responsibly? Of course. My degree from San Jose State University in one of the early 2000s years was broadcast journalism. I get it. And that's how I know what I do right now is not journalism. It's confusing stuff. We are not all experts on everybody else's job. Just because I see a pilot fly a plane doesn't mean I work in the airline industry. Just because I watch somebody do finances or a banker take care of a transaction, that doesn't mean I work at the bank or I understand completely what's going on with the back end there. A lot of people, they watch journalists, so they think they understand journalism. And I'm not mad at that. I get it. I'm just here to tell you, I am your friend. You can trust me. I'm working hard on all that. Reputation, credibility, but I'm not a journalist. On that note, promotion time. If you like this channel, consider subscribing. I would really appreciate that. I'm trying to grow out this platform as a place for you and I to have these conversations. And also, if you liked this video, thumbs up here at the end of it. All right? Until next time, be safe, everybody.